do is just slightly bend this table again so it kind of makes the hip flexors that insert into the back here kind of pop a little bit more.
It's actually been a huge focus of building this off season within the lower back.
Yeah, that area.
Yeah, I got hurt deadlifting a few years ago. So I kind of neglected pulling anything from the floor. But the new training program is I really need to bring out more lower back.
Are you low rowing at all or anything like that to kind of?
Yeah. Lots of rowing. Some deadlift, like stiff legged deadlift off the floor. Really fire hamstrings, glutes, lower back.
Those stiff legs just don't miss, do they?
No.
Yeah.
A lot of times I like to pause the bar on the way down about an inch off the floor. Just so that I'm not releasing tension off the muscle at all. Then that full stretch and then pull up and contract. They're brutal.
The chase of perfect hypertrophy.
Every day.
It's hard, dude.
The thing about bodybuilding, you're always learning something.
Yeah.
Definitely. The first day in the gym, you make 3 sets of 12 on everything is the way to do it, and that works. And over time, it seems that just it's like it's always changing.
Sure. I mean, so is science to a degree, and when there's so much of that involved in the exercise science world,
Absolutely.
it makes sense. But then just in general, like any artist, and you guys are true sculptors of the body, it's something that, you can get better and better at as a skill-wise too,
Absolutely.
Versus just information always changing on you every 5 seconds too.
I think the information, especially like YouTube, everything is super, super helpful.
Yeah.
Nowadays, to a degree though, sometimes, younger guys starting out, when we started out, we just had older guys to give us advice in the gym. We didn't really have YouTube and workouts to go through for free.
Sure.
Or if you did, it was just someone massive just trying to sell you a protein powder from their company they're sponsored by. But
yeah, it's the guy that you looked at in the gym and you wanted to look like, and that was the information you got.
Yeah, nowadays there's plenty of good information.
Doctors and scientists all over YouTube, right?
Absolutely. It's kind of the hardest part, navigating through what's really good information and what's just be overlooked.
Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes you just got to get back to the roots.
I was going to say, in the end, no matter what you do and what you study and learn, it does still always kind of come back to hard work. Beats all.
It's not a lot of people know that when Ronnie Coleman trained, he did the same workout his entire bodybuilding career. In the same order. Every single day, week in, week out.
Didn't miss.
And he's an alien, but...
Yeah.
I mean, the basics are what works, but the basics are really hard. So that's why it's sometimes people try to find a new way to reinvent the wheel, and sometimes the basics is the best.
Yeah. I've been told about Ronnie too that he didn't always have the strictest diet because he lifted a ton of weight and he was a pro, so he could be bigger, more massive. But
absolutely.
He never missed a meal.
No.
He always made sure he got his macro counts in.
Oh yeah.
And he would get a little bit of fat and barbecue and stuff here and there, but it's like...
He said over his career, just in Masterpiece barbecue sauce, he thought he spent close to $20,000.
It is hard to eat a dry chicken breast. And that's, a staple in the diet. I get it.
If you're sitting there and eating a piece of chicken with no seasoning and just a plate of veggies on the side, it makes you question if you actually really want to do it.
This forever? Yeah.
Then you finish it, you go to the gym, you train, you get a good pump, and you're like, yeah, I want to do it.
Back at it. This guy's called the Fascial Blaster, Mr. Jordan.
Is it like, he has fascia kind of stretching, or?
It is. It's getting the deep levels of the spine that almost acts similar to scar tissue, how they bind up.
Okay.
It's really breaking through that.
Is it similar to skin grafting, or is that what it is? Or?
It pretty much is a lot like that muscle scraping or anything like that. It's very similar.
Okay.
They just created a pretty cool tool that has got these little handles on it. get some good blood flow and healing through all this stuff that we broke up.
That's a very interesting feeling.
Yes, sir. People consider it to be almost like a light tearing sensation because you really are tearing muscles. You know?
Honestly, that's perfectly described.
Yeah. Because we really are. Just like when you're tearing through a muscle to grow it back bigger. We're doing a similar thing with the postural muscles so they kind of retrain themselves to relax a little more. Right now they're what we call over-facilitated. So a little bit of this scraping tends to inhibit them a little bit more, which is the goal.
I think that's the one thing I really should have focused on more in the last couple of years. Trying to grow is just lack of stretching.
Sure.
And I honestly think that's why I've injured my back over the years and just had muscles just not firing the way they should. Just
You know the
stuff's
classic
getting bound
quote,
up.
long muscle's a strong muscle?
Yeah.
And it's seeming like nowadays, especially you're talking about new information and the way these guys are getting hypertrophy with really full drastic range of motion. Mm-hmm. You know, you want you to be stretched so you can hit those ranges of motion, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Once I started really putting on weight, it actually really hindered from being able to go full depth on squatting motions, hip mobility. I had to retrain a lot of things that really stretch to be able to even get to that point, to get that full stretch and full contraction. And then once I did, you notice a decent amount of more growth.
For sure. Well, it's interesting too when you get this bigger upper carriage, how tight your low back gets, right? Just to support those areas. It seems a lot of low back tightness too when we're really bulking.
Oh, absolutely.
And everything up and realign everything. Now Dillon's going to go over there and do some PNF and different styles of stretching on you to just make sure the mobility is 100%.